Behold one of the greatest anime arcs ever made, centuries worth of struggle finally letting loose in an all-out battle for supremacy. Fight scenes straight out of biblical tales and legendary mythologies. A show that will certainly stand the test of time. It was a dawn of a new age, and the Quincy King was reborn to rule over the world. In order to stop him, the royal guards, protectors of the divine establishment, chose Ichigo Kurosaki. The chosen one failed to defeat Yhwach in his previous duel, and as a result, came to train under the guidance of the Soul King. The baldy with a cane is known as Ichibe Hyosube. Soon enough, you will learn to respect that name and fear that look. While all this was happening, all the Stern Ritters gathered to hear His Majesty's speech. Powerful soldiers were in attendance awaiting their next orders. However, Yhwach pulled a number on them by revealing a new successor. Behold, Ichigo's former friend, Ishida Uryu, a natural-born Quincy who was selected to inherit Yhwach's empire. As was expected, everyone was left shocked, and some vented out their frustration in a peculiarly enticing fashion. Oh yeah, that's Bambietta, by the way, Stern Ritter E. Don't let her good looks fool you. She is as deadly as she is seductive. Amidst all the Stern Ritters, Baz B wasn't taking it well, and the rest started mocking him for it. Even after Hashwalth, the second in command, came in, his wrath took over and he demanded a duel. Luckily, they were stopped from ripping each other apart. Meanwhile, Uryu drank the blood of Yhwach and received his Quincy blessing. Things are started to get interesting. Ichigo is out in the sacred palace training with the Soul King. Urahara is looking for ways to defeat the Quincy's. Rukia and Renji are knee-deep in training, and Byakuya Kuchiki is all healed up from his fatal injuries. Even Captain Shunsui is out and about running personal errands. Everything seems to be going great. Oh, wait a minute. What is that? The entire Soul Society was engulfed in seconds. Don't tell me the Quincy's launched another attack already? Man, these guys do not take a break. Prior to launching the invasion, they seem to have gathered together and strategized a plan to infiltrate and decimate the Serite, also known as the Soul Society, a realm where the deceased are ushered into their next life. So the fact that the Quincy's invaded the Soul Society implies that life as a whole is in jeopardy. The balance between death and life could be broken, resulting in a catastrophic disaster. It seems that Stern Ritter D met one of the captains already, Mayuri the mad scientist, and Jugram went straight to the head captain, Shunsui. They did not come here to play games and planned to massacre everyone in sight. The streets were lit ablaze by Baz B, Stern Ritter H, the heat. However, Ice Captain Hitsugaya came to level the playing field. Alongside the beautiful Rangiku, of course. This ignited Baz's passion and started pumping his blood. He kept on blasting them, leaving them no room to breathe. Even so, Rangiku and Hitsugaya joined forces to create an ash and ice wall, preventing Baz's heat from burning it. Beautiful and smart. Where do I sign the marriage papers? Hitsugaya launched a counterattack and caught Baz in his ice trap. As this was happening, Stern Ritter K met an angry Soi Fan looking to get revenge for her stolen Bankai. By the way, Bankais are the ultimate technique of Soul Reapers. Without them, they were no match for the Quincy's who turned the tables. Baz B ended up burning Hitsugaya, and Soi Fan was being toyed around by K. When all seemed lost, Captain Mayuri received a phone call. Meanwhile, the Soul Society was in shambles. Everything was going to hell, and Captain Hitsugaya was at his limit fighting Baz B. Out of nowhere, Stern Ritter Y showed up after having defeated Rangiku. He was the one who stole the Ice Captain's Bankai and decided to use it to fulfill his mission. Talk about a cruel ending. On the other hand, Urahara popped in through a portal bearing great news. He found a way to get the stolen Bankais back after doing some research in Hueco Mundo. A broadcast was given to every captain alongside a small pill. As soon as Hitsugaya touched it, flames emerged, and his Bankai returned instantly. Soifun did the same and returned her spectacular Bankai as well, which ended up blasting through Stern Ritter K like a missile. Now that is what I call action. But wait, there is more. I told you how Hitsugaya was a prodigy, right? He isn't a force to be reckoned with, and his attacks ended up freezing the enemy in place. What a beauty to behold. Unfortunately, he collapsed afterward. On the other side of the battlefield, Shinji was trapped by a bunch of mercenaries. Little did they know, his breathtaking Bankai release was capable of distorting perception, forcing them to kill one another. While this was happening, Stern Ritter S descended onto the battlefield and challenged the younglings to a 3-1 deathmatch. Despite being at a handicap, he was doing quite well for himself. Elsewhere, Stern Ritter E, our gorgeous Bambietta, was frustrated and anxious, waiting to fight. As she started exploding her rage, Sajin came to stop her in her tracks. However, Shinji also stepped in and told him he'd take care of things from this end. Using his distortion ability, he caught her off guard and confused the hell out of her. Just then, Yuha Baha released the Stern Ritter's special technique, the Quincy Vole Stern. Ichigo, on the other hand, was grinding hard to get stronger after meeting the presence of the Soul King. Now that Yuha Baha's Quincy powers was in full blast, the Stern Ritters were more confident than ever. Bambi, for one, was having fun exploding everything around her. After all, she was named E. Luckily, Sajin stepped in to block her path of rampage. While she was busy trying to save his comrade, Bambi hit him with an unexpected strike. Apparently, anything her reishi touches turns into a bomb. Now how cool is that? Before Captain Sajin was able to react, she hit him with another set, this time, destroying his armor and revealing his human form. She is shocked to see this, since he used to be a wolf. Using the Jinka technique, Sajin had struck a deal with the devil, abandoning himself and ripping out his heart for a boost in power. Upon unleashing his Bankai, we were invited to see greatness firsthand. A gigantic, invincible samurai raged throughout the battlefield. Bambi tried her best to bring it down, but it kept on regenerating. The Jinka technique allows him to temporarily become immortal for a hefty price of his soul. After discovering this sorcery, Bambi was left in shambles. Her fear was justified because he ended things in a single strike and started walking towards Yuha Baha, looking to take revenge. Unfortunately, his body gave out and his technique started taking over. He had finally succumbed to it and turned into a wolf. What an unfortunate demise from a great warrior. He literally had to be carried out of the battlefield since he was incapable of walking. That truly breaks my heart. To make matters worse for Bambi, her former comrades came to end her life. Talk about betrayal. On the other side of the battlefield, the rookie trio had assumed they killed Stern Ritter S. However, he seemed to have resurrected even stronger than before. With this newfound power, he tore them all to shreds. Who knew he was this powerful? Luckily, 2 captains showed up in the nick of time. Oh yeah, let's also not forget about Ichigo, who is still training up there. Even though we are still at the beginning of the war, it was estimated that over 30% of the army was wiped out by the Stern Ritters already. Captain Mayuri grew anxious and called the head captain Shunsui to give everyone some words of encouragement. Elsewhere, Captain Kensei wasted no time activating his Bankai fighting Stern Ritter S Mask de Masculine. His punches were explosive in nature and dealt a fatal blow to S in a matter of seconds. However, his subordinates tried to warn him of his resurrection powers. Just then, our wrestling freak got back up and sent them flying without breaking a sweat. Captain Kensei tried going for another round, but was severely outclassed and outmatched. His punches sent reverberations throughout the sky. Even so, they were unable to penetrate his thick skin. S the superstar was on another league from these captains. He quickly dismantled our captain and knocked him out for the 10 count. However, the maestro unleashed his musical genius with his spectacular Bankai. He was able to wield water and fire to destroy the superstar. However, after discovering his power, he quickly pierced his eardrum and shot a star through his chest. Hold on right there, because the cavalry showed up. After training up in the heavens, Renji came back looking stronger than ever before. S used his ultimate move against him. Nevertheless, Renji was too powerful at this point. He ended the battle in a single strike. I always had high hopes for him. That's all for this episode. If you want more content like this, please be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to stay updated. Till next time, stay true.